Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I want to share with you my 8-week Amla hair journey, what I learned, some of its benefits, and some of the things to look out for. If that sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. Okay, so backstory. For a while now, I've been using Ayurvedic herbs in my hair routine, and sometime this year, I decided to now start focusing on specific herbs, maybe not specific, more so individual herbs, just trying to understand each herb better so that I can see ways of incorporating it into my routine that fits in with whatever benefits the herb has for my hair. So the first herb that I decided to work with was Amla. It was meant to be an 8-week journey, but it's been more than that, to be quite honest. It wasn't so much to see what impact it has on my hair growth as it was about just learning about the herb and different ways of using it, because the thing about Ayurvedic herbs is that it takes time for you to start seeing the benefits in your hair. Of course, there are some superficial things you'll see here and there for some of them. So like Amla, one of the first things I noticed about it is upon application, my curl pattern was insane. Insane. So yes, you'll have some herbs that have this very quick result, but if you're looking for long-term results, you need to use the herbs for a while. Me using Amla was not so much I wasn't expecting necessarily to see any changes in my hair. Of course, any change is welcome, but I wasn't expecting it. I just wanted to learn a bit more about the herb and to try and figure out the best ways that I can be using it in my routine that help or that fit whatever my hair needs. This video is basically just a summary of the things that I feel are the most important for you to know about Amla. If that is a herb that you're interested in trying out, if you've already been using Amla and maybe you're looking for different ways of using it, then I think this video will be helpful. Amla is also known as Indian gooseberry, and it is commonly found in India. It is a fruit and it can be found in different forms. You can actually consume the fruit as is, or sometimes it's dried and you can use that for whatever hair needs you have. Sometimes the dried fruit is ground up and it's formed into a powder, and that's usually now the common way that you'll find when it comes to hair care is the Amla powder. You can use the powder. You can also use Amla oil. Now the thing to note about Amla oil is that you can't really extract oil from the fruit itself. So what usually happens is the powder is infused in some kind of oil so that you have what is now referred to as Amla oil. It's less concentrated than the powder, but it's still pretty effective. It adds a lot of shine to hair. It helps to treat dandruff and dry scalp. If you're someone who uses henna regularly and you've noticed that using henna has loosened your curl pattern, Amla actually helps to prevent henna from loosening your curl pattern, and it also helps to tone down some of the red tones of henna. It helps to thicken your hair by increasing hair follicle count. It helps to reverse grays. It does make your hair color darker, so if you're someone who would like to darken your hair, this is a powder to consider using. And I have actually noticed a difference in my hair color. Like my hair definitely looks darker than it did before. One of the key things about Amla is that it has a lot of vitamin C, which makes it a great antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory agent. It also helps to speed up the healing process of wounds and cuts on the scalp by stimulating collagen growth. And the vitamin C also helps to flatten and improve the quality of your cuticle layer. So if you're someone whose hair is of a higher porosity, Amla is definitely a powder you should consider adding to your routine. As someone who has high porosity hair, it really comes in handy. In case you want to learn more about high porosity hair, I will leave a link in the description to a playlist all about high porosity hair. Now the thing to note about vitamin C is that it can be drying. So when you're using Amla, this is something to just watch out for. During this challenge, I used Amla in 4 different ways. I used it as a tea, I used it as a pre-poo, I used it as a hair mask, and I also used it as an oil. So I basically infused some Amla powder in some oil. When it comes to the tea, I would use half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of powder with some hot water in a mug. Then I would leave that overnight. The next day, I would sieve out the sediments, and then the liquid that remained is what I was using as my tea, and specifically as a spray. So I transferred it into a spray bottle, then I would just spray my hair. I did not throw out the sediments. So whatever sediments I got, I would repurpose them by adding them to my deep conditioner. If you decide to use the tea recipe, you can also add essential oils to the liquid. This was a liquid that I used to now spray on my hair before my deep conditioning step. I would go in after washing my hair, then I spray the Amla tea, and then after I've sprayed, I actually go in with my deep conditioner, let the deep conditioner and the tea sit in my hair for about 30 minutes, and then I wash out and my wash day is done. It's really simple and it's really easy to make. The second thing is whatever sediments you have, you can actually repurpose. So there's an element of recycling there. There's an element of no waste. It actually is quite staining. If you're going to use this tea, I would recommend that you use it in a way where it's not staying in your hair for too long. Another con is that it's quite drippy. I don't know how to explain. It drips so much. I really didn't like that. I don't like having things in my hair that are just dripping. And then it's not like water where if I've just come out from the shower from washing my hair, I just dry my hair. I'm not really drying my hair once I've sprayed the tea because I'm going in with my deep conditioner, so it's drippy and it's messy. I didn't really like that. And then another con is because there's no preservative in it, there's only so long that you can keep it. So for me, I used to keep it just maximum a week. If there's anything that's left, I throw it out. And I would recommend the same unless now you use some kind of preservative. So there are different ways that you can use this tea. One is just basically just spraying it on the way I was doing it, which was the step before my deep conditioner. Another thing that you can use the tea for is you can actually use it to mix. You can use it as an ingredient in a different recipe, right? So if you're making some kind of hair mask, you can actually use the tea as your liquid to mix that hair mask. You could also use it as like a leave-in. The thing that I would say again about it is remember that it does stain, and also vitamin C can be drying, so just watch out for that. In terms of would I use it again? Yes, I would, but definitely not as my first option when it comes to Amla. Having used it in different ways, I've found other ways that I feel still get the job done, but I just prefer are not as messy. So yes, I would, but not as my first option. So the second way that I used the Amla was as a hair mask. What I would do is I would mix in some Amla powder with water, and then I go in with some kind of deep conditioner or conditioner, mix everything together. Then that is what I apply to my hair, and this would now serve my deep conditioning step in my wash day. My wash day typically involves shampoo or some kind of way of cleansing my scalp, and then finishing off with some kind of deep conditioner. So the hair mask, the Amla hair mask, came in as my deep conditioning step. One of the biggest pros for me when it came to this hair mask is my curls were really defined. Immediately I put it on, my curls were really defined. Now, I am currently working on just perfecting the recipe because I feel like maybe part of the problem is I haven't figured out how to make the perfect hair mask for my hair using the Amla. So I'm currently working on just perfecting that recipe. Once I do, I will share that recipe with you guys. Or maybe I'll just learn that the hair mask is not for me and then I just move on. I would really like to perfect that recipe. I don't know, maybe there's a way that I can strain the powder out, because maybe the grainy texture is because of the way I mixed in the powders with the deep conditioners. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Would I do it again? Yes, definitely. Once I perfect that recipe, this will be one of my preferred methods of using the Amla as a hair mask. So the third way, as a pre-poo. For those of you who are regulars here, you know I usually pre-poo my hair using flaxseed gel. I prepare flaxseed gel and then I mix it in with some kind of oil, blend everything together, then that's what I use as my, well, not so much pre-poo as it is detangling. So maybe I should have said that I used it as a detangler more than a pre-poo. What I did was I added a bit of the powder to the prepared flaxseed gel and then I blended everything together. This was very interesting because I definitely noticed a difference in the texture of the gel. I've been using the gel for a long time now, so I know how it feels, and the texture changed when I mixed in the Amla, and I guess that reinforces the hair mask where it felt grainy, so the Amla definitely changed the texture. Applying it was not as smooth as it usually is without the Amla, and I also noticed here that there was it wasn't as moisturizing as it usually is, although the curl definition was very present. The thing that I would say that I liked about this way of using the Amla was definitely the curl definition. The things that I didn't particularly like were it didn't have as much sleep as I would have liked it to, and it wasn't as moisturizing as I would have liked it to be. I don't know. I'll try one different method. I'll try a different method. I will try to, because initially what I did, I'd already made the flaxseed gel and then I added the Amla powder to the gel before blending. What I'll do this time, in the process of preparing my flaxseed gel, I'll put in my flaxseeds and then I'll add the Amla powder, then prepare flaxseed gel that way. I see whether there's a difference. Depending on what results I get from that, that'll determine whether or not I'll do this or I would be open to using Amla in this way. So let's put a pin in whether I would do it, whether I would use it again. This is honestly my favorite way of using the Amla. This was my favorite way of using the Amla, which was through an oil infusion. So I took about a tablespoon of Amla, mixed it in with one of my favorite oils. I think it was olive oil, and then I let that infuse for, usually I let my oils infuse for about 4 to 6 weeks, but because I was on a deadline, I actually just let it sit in for 4 weeks and then I used it. So I prepared this oil pretty early on in my journey, let's say maybe week 2 or 3, and then towards the end of the journey is when I was using the oil. I used this oil in different ways. So I used it to oil my scalp just before doing my scalp massage. I also used it as a pre-poo. I usually use my oil to pre-poo overnight, and then the next day is when I go in with my flaxseed gel detangler. You could also add a bit of the oil to your conditioner or your deep conditioner or any hair masks that you're using, and you can use it as a sealant. Personally, I use it more so to oil my scalp massage and to pre-poo my hair. It's not as messy, it's pretty easy to prepare, and then there are many different ways that you can actually use the oil in your routine. I will definitely be using Amla in this way. So in terms of ranking, from most favorite to least favorite way of using the Amla, it would have to be oil infusion, hair mask, spray, and then the pre-poo. There are a bunch of recipes that I used for these different methods. So once I have perfected the necessary recipes, I will share those recipes with you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you've used Amla before or if you're thinking of giving it a go. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more natural hair content. And until next time, see ya!